Hello everybody. I hope all of you are having a good day today. Let's push out into some deep water and see where the Spirit leads us. This upload is for those who have ears to hear. 1 Kings chapter 19 verses 11 through 13 is one of my favorite scriptures. It touches my soul. This is where Elijah heard that still small voice. He heard the still small voice. And whenever he heard the voice of God, he came out of the cave. He came to the entrance of the cave, meaning he came out of darkness. He came into the light. That resonates with me so much because I know what it means to hear that still small voice. After you hear that still small voice is when your true journey begins. That's when your real life begins. At this point, if you'll just be quiet and listen, you will get your true teaching. You will be taught by God. Did you know that the Hebrew name Simon means listen or hearing? Today we're going to look at Luke chapter 5. And I'm going to show you that not everything means what you think it means in the Bible. Not on the surface anyway. You have to go deeper into it. Jesus said that his words are spirit. What I want to show you is that those who hear the literal voice of God from deep within them, they are taught by God. And those who are taught by God become teachers. They become fishers of men. In Luke chapter 5 verse 1, you'll see that Jesus was standing by the lake of Gennesaret. Gennesaret means a fertile plain. What this is telling you is that Jesus went to a place where there were people who were ready to hear the voice of God. Not all, but some had ears to hear. On this next slide, I'm showing you the definition of the Greek word crowd. It means a mob or common people. I'm showing you this because it goes with Luke chapter 5 verse 4. You see, after Jesus was finished speaking to the mob or the common people, those that could not spiritually hear what he was saying, remember the name Simon means to hear or listen. So you have to look at Simon as not just one person, but as a number of people who hear. They listen for that still small voice. And what does Jesus say to the ones who hear or listen? He says, let's row out into the deep water. Meaning, let's get into the deep stuff. I'm going to teach you some things with meaning, not just all this religious stuff that you see on the surface. I'm going to be quiet for just a little while and let you do some reading. And whenever the time comes, I'll pop back in. All of this resonates so deeply with me now because I remember what it was like that first time that I heard that still small voice. This resonates so deeply with me now because I know what Luke chapter 5 verse 11 means. Once you hear that voice of truth, the true light, You'll never go back to the old things. It's impossible. You can't do that anymore. You'll leave everything. Now let's move on to Luke chapter 5, verse 17, because this all ties in together. This is the story where the men are bringing the paralytic man, trying to bring him and put him at the feet of Jesus. If you'll notice here, it says that when he was teaching that there were Pharisees and doctors of the law sitting by. They had come from every town of Galilee. It says they were doctors of the law. You see, they thought they were healers. They thought they were healing people. But Jesus, the Christ, is the true healer. They didn't realize it, but they were dishing out poison. That's what religion is. That's all that they had was religion. Now check this out. You see, the men couldn't bring the paralytic man and place him at the feet of Jesus because of all the religious men, all of the religion blocking the way. It was too noisy this way. The men had to find another way. And I'm going to show you later that this is the broad road. Remember, Jesus was crucified and buried at Golgotha, the place of the skull. Remember in other teachings I've showed you that Golgotha represents your skull, my skull. Now check this out. The house that Jesus is in, who's surrounded by all the religion and everything, has become your skull. It has become the paralytic man's skull. And what it says here, it says they went upon the housetop and let him down through the tiling. This word for went upon in the Greek language means to rise or ascend. You see, in order for them to be able to place this man at the feet of Jesus, they had to be taught by God. They had to rise above all that religion. They had to ascend above it and be in the clouds with Jesus and be taught by God. You see, after they were brought out into that deep water and taught by God, they were able to get through the tiling. You see, tiles are put down in layers. They were able to get through all those layers of programming, religion, and all the noise of this world in order for the sick man to hear that still small voice and be healed. You see, it's written here in Matthew chapter 7 that to enter by the narrow gate, says the way here is hard because it leads to life. And the reason it's hard is because most are unable to question what they've been taught. It's too hard to get beyond those layers of lies. You see, sometimes the hardest thing to do is to just be quiet and listen. I pray that this upload has enlightened you. I love you all. God bless.